Hi, this is Marty from Photoshop Art House. Today, I'll show you how to create a stunning portrait effect to your photo portraits that I call Sunset Glow. The inspiration for this effect came from a George Harrison record cover that I recently came across. I thought it would be a great project to replicate this look. For your convenience, I provided this photo that you could use for this project, so if you'd like to use it, I provided its link in my video's description or project files. The first step is to separate the subject from its background. There are many ways to do this, but for this example, open your Quick Selection tool, and at the top, click the Select Subject button. Let's feather the edges of the selection by going to Select, Modify, and Contract. Contract it 2 pixels. Go back to Select, Modify, and Feather. Feather it 1 pixel. Click the Layer Mask icon to make a layer mask of the selection. We'll create a new layer below our subject by Control or Command clicking the New Layer icon. We'll fill it with black. Press Shift plus the F5 key at the top of your keyboard to open the Fill window. You could also go to Edit and Fill. Open the Contents list and click Black. Make the blend mode Normal. In this layer, we'll introduce a gentle light originating from the upper left. Open the Gradient tool and click Classic Gradient. Open your list of gradients and click the black to white thumbnail. Make sure the linear gradient icon is selected. Click the gradient bar, and when the gradient editor opens, click the lower right stop. Click the white box, and in the brightness field, type in 70%. Press Enter or Return twice. Change it to Gradient, and place your cursor approximately here and drag diagonally down to approximately here. Keep in mind we can always adjust it later if we want. We'll convert our visible image into a smart object so we can make adjustments to it non-destructively, as well as replace our subject without redoing any of the effects. Make the top layer active, and Shift-click the bottom layer to make all the layers active. Click the icon at the upper right, and click Convert to Smart Object. Next, we'll create a lens blur that simulates a low depth of field, which essentially blurs our image except for areas we want in focus, such as the face. To do this, go to Filter, Blur Gallery, and Iris Blur. I did an in-depth tutorial on the Iris Blur filter, so if you'd like to watch it, I provided its link in the video's description. If you don't see the lines or widget, press Ctrl or Command H. We can reposition it by dragging the center of the widget. To adjust the angle of the iris blur, go outside the ring and rotate it. To adjust its shape, drag the ring. There are 4 feather handles that indicate where the blur starts. Basically, the blur is feathered between the feather handles and the ellipse handles. Notice that when we drag one of the feather handles, all of them move at the same time. However, we can drag them independently by pressing and holding Alt or Option as we drag a handle. We can adjust the amount of blur by rotating the blur ring clockwise or counterclockwise to increase or decrease the blur. I'll increase it to 24 pixels. Then click OK at the top. Go to Filter and Camera Raw Filter. Open the Effects section and drag the clarity all the way to the left. This smooths out the midtones and softens the image. Drag the dehaze all the way to the right. This reduces atmospheric haze and increases contrast. Don't be concerned if you see any red spots. They'll go away once we apply the effects and click OK. I'll make the vignette -50 which adds a soft dark shape surrounding the perimeter of our portrait, and I'll make the grain 50, which adds a subtle graininess. Again, any red areas you see will disappear. Click the Adjustment Layer icon and click Color Lookup. Color Lookup essentially allows us to alter the color, contrast, and brightness of an image with a single click. Open Load 3D LUT. LUT is an acronym for Lookup Table. Click Edgy Amber. Lastly, we'll reduce its color saturation. Open the Adjustments panel. If you don't see it, go to Window and Adjustments. Click Vibrance. I'll reduce the saturation to -20. This is Marty from Photoshop Art House. Thanks for watching.